What's good, y'all? What's good? Marcus Frage from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. If you could, please hit the like button, subscribe button, notification button to stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesday videos. I would like to welcome you to the Love Series, where every year in February, it's known as the quote-unquote Love Month, so to speak. I give you guys, a couple tips, couple things, couple stories on just, how to love yourself better, how to love others better, how to love the higher power that you believe in better, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? In hopes that, we can spread a little bit more love every single day of the year in general. Today, I want to talk to you guys from a different standpoint. And I'm going to do this once a week. Normally, I'm always talking from the standpoint of being a single guy because for the longest, I've been single. Well, now I'm in a relationship. Not only am I in a relationship, but I'm in a relationship that looks pretty promising. So, every week, or at least once a week, I'm going to give you guys, just some things and some topics to discuss in terms of what I'm learning from being in a relationship, especially a healthy relationship, if you will, what that looks like, and what can you do to better improve your relationships. And of course, if you have any comments below or suggestions, feel free to leave it. Might help me out, might help some others out. Maybe we can agree, maybe we disagree, agree to disagree, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So today we're going to talk about hard conversations and not steering away from hard conversations. Now, yes, I'm starting off on a bit of a heavy note, and the reason being is because I have to let you guys know that hard conversations are going to be a part of a relationship, right? Especially when it's something long term. Let's face it, nobody likes hard conversations. Nobody wants to deal with confrontation. No one wants to deal with a situation where they were kind of thrown how can I say this? A frisbee at their foreheads that they didn't see coming, And a lot of times it puts us in a position to where we do feel pretty uncomfortable. But it's not necessarily the uncomfort that is the challenge. The challenge is, how do you get past that situation to get from point A to point B? Now, obviously, if you've been in a long-term relationship, this comes along with the territory. It's not a big deal. But if you're dealing with someone, or if you are someone who has been single for quite some time, that could be a challenge. Because in your mind, you're so used to doing things your own way, you're not really thinking of the way that others may think. And I'm not saying that you're selfish or anything like that. It's just something that you've become accustomed to, right? So now you're in this position to where it's like, crap, I got to think about the other person and how they feel. It's not just about how I feel. It's not just about what I want. It's about what we want. It's about finding a way to make sure that we get over that hump together, right? And again, some conversations can be very challenging in the sort of, hey, let's just sit down and have a conversation about this. This is how I feel. This is how you feel. And some conversations can be relationship altering to a point where you unfortunately might get to a crossroad where it's like, okay, do we continue this? Or do we find a way to push through adversity? And I would like to encourage everyone to, if possible, find that way to push through adversity. Now, obviously, if certain boundaries have been crossed, if certain non-negotiables have been crossed, then yeah, unfortunately, that might be cause for concern. And you two may have to sit down and be like, let's reevaluate this relationship. This might not work out the way I want it to. But you also don't want to just jump to that conclusion. And I think somebody who has been single for a long time or is used to being left, for no reason at all, aka abandonment issues, they deal with those. And then, it's up to you to be reassuring to that person and to the, individuals that might be dealing with that mindset. I know I've dealt with that mindset before. It's definitely on you to know that two things. Number one, a person who really cares about you is not going to just up and leave you. They're going to fight with you through it. But also, number two, and this is just the reality of things, a person does have a right to leave. A person does have a right to change their mind. I'm not trying to trigger anybody on that, but that's something that I've personally had to accept. Even though my relationship is pretty promising, I'm also on the spectrum of, hey, at any given time, my significant other could make the decision to be like, hey, you know what? I thought I was feeling this. I'm not really feeling this no more. Or I can make that decision, right? And it would hurt either one of us or possibly even both of us if the decision was made. But I think it's important to not jump to that conclusion. But the reason why I think hard conversations are so vital, even early on in a relationship, is because it really will test the waters to see if you can stand the test of time. Let's be real. People that have been married or in relationships for a long period of time, but that eventually get to that marriage, they've been married for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, even 40 years. They've had some tests. And I think a lot of people think that, oh, it's so admirable that they've been married for 35 plus years, 25. I mean, my mom and my stepdad, as the recording of this video, next week they will be celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. And needless to say, they done been through some stuff. I'm pretty sure more stuff than what both of them have told me. But I say all that to say that hard times are going to come. And those tough conversations will demonstrate, are you able to handle those tough times? Or is it going to be a point to where you are not tough enough to handle it? Now, let's make it perfectly clear. I'm not saying that, a relationship should be totally challenging 24/7. A lot of people, they seem to have the mindset, oh, no pain, no gain. Well, that's partially true. But if it's pain 90% of the time, that's probably a relationship that you shouldn't be in. If you have a tough conversation once every couple weeks, once every couple months, starting off, okay, I could dig that. But when you having tough conversations every week and you just started a relationship, or even if you're far along the relationship, which is even worse, then you got some things to question. You really got to sit down and think to yourself, is this a relationship that I want to be a part of? Is this a relationship that we should be in together, right? Because the point of tough conversations is to get over that uncomfortable hump and get to a point to where it's like, hey, okay, we've gotten this out the way. We can move forward in a different manner. I know me and my lady, we've already had a couple of tough conversations, and we've only been dating for a couple months. But I think the tough conversations have actually brought us closer together because while they were uncomfortable, they were needed. You know what I'm saying? There were times where, I did things that were, or said things that were kind of, out of line. There were things where that she may have said that, may have hurt me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And we had to sit down and discuss those things. And it's not like those things that were done, intentionally. But sometimes you don't know what you're doing until somebody addresses it. And it's not an easy conversation to have. You realize that those things that you said or those things that you did sometimes come from your past or your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Changing your mindset is very important. And a lot of times we don't want to have those tough conversations because it also forces us to see, be the man or to be the woman in the mirror, like Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Really take a look at ourselves and be like, dang. So that's what I'm like. That's what I be doing. And it sucks because it's like, sheesh, But I think it's a great thing because you may learn a thing or two about yourself. Okay, I need to improve on. Okay, I need to be open-minded. Okay, I need to be a little more understanding of my partner. Okay, maybe I need to have a little bit more emotional availability for my partner to hear him or her out, and so on and so forth, right? So there's a lot of things that can come from tough conversations. I think tough conversations can be a great thing in a relationship. I think it's ultimately how well the two individuals address those tough conversations and what do you do moving forward beyond that. All right. So that's just my advice as someone who's in a newfound relationship. Hopefully this helps those who are in a relationship and also helps those individuals who are single who are looking to get in a relationship, just something to expect. It's not always going to be roses and ice cream. There are times where it's going to be challenging and you have to make sure that you are the one or y'all are the one, because it's not just about you, it's about y'all as a couple, rising to the occasion and being able to handle whatever is thrown at you. All right, so Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, the love series for this year is going to be a lot different than years past for my people who continuously come back to the channel. So make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to be posting as often as I can. I'm not promising I'm going to post every single day with a main video, but I am going to post a little more often than I typically do in a month. Expect a lot of Reddit reviews, expect a lot of Shade Room reviews, and expect a lot of shorts with, just some advice for, my single folks, my relationship folks, and I might have some special guests coming on talking to my married folks. All right? Till next time, love you guys. Take care of yourselves.